Yeah guys, just making some Roo Runners so I can hand some out over here on Thursday Island to the kids. Just want to have a little chat. As you probably know, with a lot of the social media, a lot of people just try and do stuff to be cool, be funny, be cool, just to get more followers. So just to let you know, I don't do that kind of stuff to be fake, so I don't do that. One thing I know, because it's all linked with marketing, it's just for sponsors and just, we got enough of that. What you guys need, or what the kids need, is real people, and talk about real topics. And that's why a lot of you guys out there, probably not happy, truthfully, and probably get bored or distracted very easily. So if this is not exciting you, hence why you're on the phone in the first place, and how much time, let's bring more truth in this, how much time you spend on the phone watching other people live their life or live the dream. So I'm doing this to help you guys out, the ones that need it, especially the kids. For all the adults who grew up without phones, you have a good idea, and truthfully, of where some of the kids are at these days. We've been stuck on the phone, and how happy they are, or how healthy they are physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And there's a fair bit of online bullying going on. So you can go so far into it that you're not even present. Your awareness is being dulled down. You haven't got that eyes in the back of your head, sixth sense about you. So your boundaries are a lot less, compared to someone who can feel something a long way away and have that gauge and go, is that feeling fear or darkness? And maybe I should move away. It's a spiritual sign coming through. So I believe in Christ. I believe in the Holy Spirit. And there's a lot of people out there who don't. So I want the parents to ask yourselves the question. Because obviously your kids are the mini you. And yous are the gatekeepers, and yous are the leaders, role models. How much is your role models positive? Even with your relationship with your partner, how much love and romance is there? And so forth. So ask yourself the question. Think about it. Ask your kids. Excuse to your little daughter or your son, no matter what age really, because obviously as they become more teenagers, they want to go their own way and be a little bit more independent. But that doesn't mean they have the confidence to be able to speak their own truth, their own feelings, their mind. Especially if dad's a bit tough or mum's a bit, tough and, ego, and there's you're being too controlling and too dominant or not lifting them up, you know what I mean? So think about this, little daughter or your little son, and go, hey, honestly, over all the years, what are some of the things that upset you the most? Or what are you still upset about? And give them that space to be honest and truthful. And you'll be surprised, because a lot of kids don't all have the confidence, and when you think of the trauma it is affected on people, so let alone kids that have been abused sexually, you have to be also asking your questions. A lot of parents tend to look the other way or turn a blind eye or assume, no, he wouldn't do that. No, they wouldn't have done that. No, that's not possible. So how many parents out there or adults have or was abused in the past? And then you think, no, that wouldn't happen to my kids. And how many of you have got stepfathers or stepmothers or something like this that you never know. So just think about the bigger picture here, guys. So the trauma creates dualism, the pain and the suffering. That's why a lot of people are on their phones and they're so removed from this reality. So because when there's pain or times get tough, people tend to break, or people tend to want to move away or run away from that. Instead of going, nah, I love pain, and when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So you're empowering yourself and becoming more stronger, a warrior, not being a victim, and living in a dual world of, opposite of right and wrong, good and bad, and all that, and sowing to the physical flesh and the story, living in the past too much, or living in the future. What if, being scared? So you're not actually expanding, and you're not being happy. You're not being you're not being believing yourself and having that faith and trusting your vision and taking those risks and being the king of change and so forth. So that's the thing with social media. As I said, a lot of people would rather prefer me to be this fake running dude, or you should do things like this, or you should be like this, and all this kind of stuff. I could have had millions of followers, guys, a long time ago. I could have went YouTube a long time ago and made lots of money, but I'm not. It's just the journey. I'm already happy. I love running. So what more would you want, And hence with the shoes. So, I can say all this stuff to you guys, and you think, yeah, I know it all. No. A lot of the kids don't like eating vegetables, and there's probably some adults who, not that you don't mind eating vegetables as much, but look at your actual menu that you eat on your dinner or your lunch, and how much of that is how much live food is in there, or nutrients in these foods. How much minerals are you getting from your vegetables or fruit, your vitamins and so forth, and how alkaline is your food. And obviously getting back to the truthful question of your physical, body. And the story you've been telling yourself for a long time. So getting back to this, a lot of people see me running and they think, oh yeah, I can do that. I'm better than that. Oh, look at this ego, look at this hero, whatever. But with shoes on, you don't know that feeling of those nice little hard rocks, or how actual beneficial some of those little rocks are to you. Linking with the trauma and the pain and the blockages that we have in our body by even just pressing here or pressing here and seeing how much pain we have, holding on to, let alone how many massages a year you actually get. So, even that nice little tickle on the foot, it feels so good. But then everyone walks around wearing work boots all day and shoes all day, and then you can't even walk across the road, pull your wheelie bin out or whatever. Where you look at the kids, a lot of kids are barefoot and they love it, and they naturally want to take them off. So there's so much more to it with the subconscious and the spiritual aspect of it. So, and then you're not seeing Nike come to any of these communities and want to help the kids. And all shoes are made in China, so why not create Australian-made product that someone like myself wants to help all these kids and link it with therapy and help free these kids from trauma and the pain and the suffering and what's holding them back to be their best version of themselves or yourself. So this is where I'm at, and I want you guys to help us out. Because there's some kids out there that through your teenage years, and you probably know it as an adult, you enjoyed running. They enjoy running. But then they get the pressure of school, and then what I'm going to do after school and work, because time goes so quick, the way the system is set up, that you lose that. And how much running or sports or movement is so beneficial to your well-being and mentally and your physical and the happiness of it, and how much it just brings out and removes and shifts a lot of toxic stuff and helps change your DNA, even linking back to our past lives, let alone the survival side of it, of us as hunters and gatherers, which we've been lost in these new age times. And this, so hence kids on the phone, and there's a lot of people don't have that, are too shy or don't have those people interaction skills or to feel their own senses and go, hang on. And that's, you know, when you've got tough feet. And that's why I know if any of the great runners in Australia, in the world, I'll race them. I'll race any of yous barefoot, and no support cars. So then you go, oh yeah, you know. So you got to look at excuses and how much is it, you know, is fear. Your choices are based from fear, without going, hang on, no, I'm going to strip everything back. I'm going to start again, and I'm going to give a crack at this, and go this new way. Because as in the early 20s, when you're just starting to you're being brainwashed, programmed from, you know, party and alcohol and drugs and football and Hollywood and bigger and better and newer and this, you know, to try and keep up the Joneses or compete with your family and your friends. And that's not who you truly are, because you're living so external or too internal and don't have that healthy balance. By, if you think it, say it. And if you're going to say it, back it up and do it. So getting back to that, like, just coming back to in your early 20s, that you actually then rely back on fitness, going to the gym or getting into running or walking and losing that weight, and or realizing the importance or how powerful it actually is, that shift to release and wow, you getting in touch with yourself and getting to know who you truly are, and this new story and this new you and this new direction of life that you want to move towards. And you know, with the Olympics or the AIS, they only focus on the age of 16 to 23. So if you miss that boat, or same with football, because it's even also, it's not just what you know, it's who you know, and the money and the back pocket and the connections and so forth. Because some of these top athletes out there, they missed the boat, or they didn't get in the spotlight, or they come from very toxic, abusive family and grew up around violence and anger and sexual abuse and alcohol and drugs and so forth. And they haven't found a role model or a mentor or anything to lift them up and make them go for it, to believe in themselves. So anyway, I have a lot to talk about on this topic. Hope you appreciate this. Put down your comments, send us a private message, and this is what the kids are missing, or within the schoolings, even adult world. You can be 30 or 40, you still probably haven't grown up, you know, and you're thinking, oh, of course you haven't got a house now, or you're not doing that, you're a failure, or you haven't got that cool career, and look at me, I'm not a doctor and engineer, you're a failure. No, you know, if like, as an example, I could have or should have and went for the Olympics, but I didn't. And that's what I love about triathlon Ironmans, is there's a lot of cyclists out there who think they're better than everybody else, or a lot of runners or anyone out there, but then you go to put all three together, and then let's see how good you are, you know, with the trio. So, and that's what I love about barefoot running. It brings everybody back to basics and back to a playing field, and it makes you can't let your ego or you lie to yourself and step it up. Because right now I'm pretty well the best barefoot runner, long distance runner in Australia and nearly the world, and I'm willing to challenge anybody. David Goggins, Ned, you know, anyone. Happy to challenge anyone, and don't just sit there behind your phones. Send us a message. Let's go. So thanks very much, guys. It's all for the kids. It's all for a bit of fun and games. So, you know, and that's what it's about. So let's see how strong you truly are, and let's see how far we can give these socks away, because Nike and Adidas are not coming to the party, and I'd love to get a good team around me, all for the kids, all for the next generation, and all for warriors. So yeah, run to give. Thanks very much. Yeah, I've just improved more and more and more as I've gotten older, and I just found my path, pushing 80 kilo trolleys, 100 kilo trolleys, no sponsors, and not letting nothing stop me, and anything is possible, and just make your own way in barefoot, in socks, in thongs, and now I run in my own brand, and all for the kids. So thank you.